Hello and welcome back. In this video today I'm going to be talking about some of the words and phrases that are different between mainland China and Taiwan. So I don't mean pronunciation this time, I'm more focused on just different expressions. You know how like in England people would say lorries instead of semi-trucks in America, or getting pissed would be like getting drunk in England. In America, getting pissed means like getting pissed off, getting angry. So yeah, things like that. I will start with food. Start lighthearted. So our first food that I want to talk about is potatoes. And in mainland China, potatoes are referred to as 土豆. And so 土 means earth, and 豆 means bean, this second character here, 豆. So beans of the earth. It's very logical, I suppose, that potatoes are beans of the earth because they're in the soil, right? So, or yeah, 土 also means like soil, earth, synonymous, really. Cool. Actually, in Taiwan, 土豆 is an expression for something, a kind of food. It is peanuts. And usually you will see these peanuts pickled. So in Taiwan, people also say 花生 for peanuts, but when they're pickled in a jar or in some dish references, they are referred to as 土豆, which is also interesting. And then potatoes in Taiwan are referred to as 马铃薯. Something that is similar in China, though, is this character 薯. So this does mean potato in both places. And it has always historically meant potato, I guess. So actually in China, they don't call potato chips like 土豆片. They do call them 薯片. And they would call French fries, or chips if you like in England, they would call those 薯条, like strips of 薯. And for breakfast here a lot, I get 薯饼, which bing is like biscuit, and so 薯饼 means like potato biscuit. Can you guess what it is? It is hash brown, like one of those fried oval shaped hash browns. I get those at McDonald's and other breakfast shops. And then 马铃, I'm not sure what the origin of 马铃 part is in 马铃薯. So if you know, maybe you could leave a comment in the YouTube video. Don't be shy. I would love to interact and learn. So yeah, there you have it, potatoes. You say potato, I say potatoes. Next is pineapple. I distinctly remember getting a lot of pineapple from street vendors in China when I lived in Beijing. And pineapple in China, these two characters up here, this is pronounced 菠萝. And as far as I know, 菠萝 but separated, like if you split these characters apart and look at their individual meaning, they definitely have individual meaning. Most Chinese characters do at some point in history. But in modern Chinese, I'm not sure if they are used in an isolated form. They're most likely always attached to a character or a compound in a character. So yeah, like there's an area, this luo in Chinese is used a lot. I remember a place called Nanluo Guxiang in Beijing, and I think it's this same luo, but it might not be, because this does have a grass radical on the top. So I don't really know for sure. Okay, and on the bottom here we have the Taiwanese phrase for pineapple, which is fèng li. And fèng means phoenix, and li is always related to fruit. I see, or foods, you know, vegetables and fruits I usually see. So it's compounded with many other foods and vegetables. I think avocado might be one word that uses this, but yeah, and there's a couple different phrases for avocado in Taiwan, depending on whether they're those really big ones or those smaller Hass avocados. So yeah, fèng li. And you might see these two characters in one of Taiwan's like delicacies, which is fèng li su, which means the pineapple cakes that you'll see in shops here. So there you have it, pineapple. And there are pineapples that grow everywhere here, fengli farms everywhere. Cool, there's pineapple. Now let's move on to language. So Chinese in China is actually referred to the same way, but also there are a couple of extra expressions that are different. And so in mainland China, they say 中国话, and that is particular to China. They also say 中文 and 汉语. Both places say those terms and they know what they mean. But 中国话, I've only ever heard Chinese people say that. They'll say like, hey, 你中国话很流利什么? I don't know, whatever. So yeah, I never hear anybody in Taiwan say 中国话. Makes sense because there's a bit of contention around the issue of, you know, the independence of Taiwan, whether it's even a country or a part of China. So 中国 is China, so maybe that's why they don't use it. Yeah, so that top one, 中国话. And then also 普通话. I think that this is like, means the common tongue or the common language. And I think this is a Chinese specific thing. I don't hear anybody in Taiwan ever say 普通话. So it must be, its origin probably lies in like, you know, the PRC or People's Republic of China. Anyways, there you have it. That's what they say in China. And then in Taiwan, of course, they say 中文. Both places say that all the time. I hear it a lot in Taiwan. And then also, I hear 国语, which I think is probably a term that was come up with during the end of dynastic China and when China transitioned to become the Republic of China. You know, maybe Beiyang government, because they did have like a commission of the Unification of Pronunciation Commission or whatever. So they were pushing Mandarin and developing Mandarin as a standard language for the entire country of China. So yeah, there you have it, 国语, country, language. That's what it means, 国语. And I hear people in Taiwan say, like people in mainland China would say, 你中国话好. In Taiwan they say, 你国语很好. So, yeah, interesting. There's Chinese. Now, the next language is English. There is a different term for English in Taiwan. So, of course, you have 英文. I'll highlight it here. 英文, 英语 in mainland China. Or maybe in China with a northern accent, say like 英语, 英文, 英, whatever. It's funny to imitate. I'm starting to lose that ability. And in Taiwan, of course, they say 英文 and they say 英语, but they also say 美语. That's right, 美语. And I don't know the origin of that, and I didn't bother looking up, but I'm pretty sure, since it's the same exact character for America here, ding, that it means America language. Funny, but that's probably what it's from. Sorry, England. I know that probably hurts. But hey, you still got 英语, which means England language. So there you have it, 美语, 英语. And when a bushiban or a private school advertises, you know, 美语补习班, they probably advertise themselves as teaching students America-specific vocabulary and grammar and pronunciation, etc. So yeah, that's probably why they do it. There you go, 美语. Next, I'll get a tad sciencey for you here. When I lived in China, I was an intern and a student, and I was developing my resume, or as some people call it, a CV. And so that's what I want to talk about next. CV, resume. I suppose you could translate either one of these terms as either CV or resume. But yeah, in mainland China, they refer to that as 简历. And I suppose that maybe meets the definition of resume. This is all very nitpicky, so I don't really know exactly what the difference is. I do know this character, let me highlight it again, up here, jiǎn, is the same character in 简单, which means simple, and also 简介, or that means like description or explain. So it comes to reason that 简 would be in the thing for resume, describing. So in Taiwan they say 履历. And I do know this character, 履, does kind of mean CV by itself, or resume, or something like that. It has to do with that more directly than like description. So the meaning is different. And as you can see, like Li in both scripts, simplified and traditional, simplified, traditional, they're different. So interesting how it changed. Okie dokie. Next one. Where are we? Ah, yes. Next one is real science-y, but it may come in use to you if you have certain dietary restrictions or needs. And it is genetically modified organisms, or otherwise known as GMOs. So, how did this come up? How did I ever find this out? Well, a long time ago, I was trying to get into the industry of agricultural export from California. And yeah, I had to learn this term to talk, because one of the requirements of my job was to communicate with Chinese clients, because we were exporting agricultural goods to Chinese clients. So I had to know this, and I use this term a lot, which is zhuǎn, jiǎn. So the zhuǎn part here means like change or interchange. Like you'll see this in a bus stop, and the character is different for traditional, by the way. It's got this this car, vehicle, carriage radical is different. It's got like a box with like a field in the middle of it. So there you go, zhuǎn, change. Jiǎn part means gene, that's right. It's a transliteration of the word gene. So zhuǎn, jiǎn. And as you can see on the bottom here for Taiwan, the jiǎn is there as well. And the scripts have no discrepancy. They're the same in both the scripts. The characters are the same. But instead of saying 转基因, they say in Taiwan, 基因改造. 改 means like adjust or change, and 造 is like related to doing or creating or making or inventing. 改造. So gene, adjust, make, change genes. So there's a literal breakdown for you. All right. I will put all of these characters and the pinyin in the description of my video in case you are learning Chinese and want to know the pinyin for all of this. And you can always look these up. There's a really great website called Youdao. I'll also put that website in the description. And why not? I'll also put a resource I just found recently in the description of this video. And it's got tons of examples of the different word preferences between both countries. But it is all in Chinese. But there you go. Hope that was helpful for you. Keep studying, and I'll see you next time.